Well, the bull was shot yesterday. He's been hanging overnight off the digger, and we're going to go out and cut him up today. Let's go. As you can see, it's going to be a big job because it's a big beast. The minute you try and do something, it starts to rain. Hasn't rained for days, and now it's going to rain because we've got things to do outside. Got the jackets for the boys. I'll hopefully be able to stay inside. Just about done.
Hooray.
In a big day, we've now got a freezer full of beef. Hey, so now we're going to render some of that beautiful leaf fat that we got from the bull yesterday, and that's the best, most purest fat, so it's going to be fun rendering that down. I've rendered down some beef tallow just that I bought from the supermarket, and I mean that made some beautiful soap, but this is supposed to be the best fat. So we'll go ahead. I'm just going to do it with the crock pot method because that worked beautifully last time. This has been in the fridge for 2 days, so now it's nice and firm and be easy to cut up. That's going to be a big job, so we'll get started now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to chop up these big bits into little bits and feed them into the food processor. Alright, we've got our nice pot of ground up lard. I put some through the food processor and that's nice and chopped, but some of the stringier stuff, some of this stuff would jam it up, so I just chop that up nicely. There, we've got that. Now we've got to add water and salt to it, and so it's going to be about 3 tablespoons of salt, give or take, maybe a bit more, and then about 6 to 8 litres of water. So I'll do that now. Looking good. Now I'm using sea salt. You need something that doesn't have a caking agent in it. Just going to poke that around a little bit in there. I'm going to set this to low. Put the lid on. I'll stir it every few hours, and we're just going to leave it, and I'll show you how it renders down beautifully. Now there is another method that I've just found, and that's just doing it straight on the stove. So I'm going to chop up the rest of this and do it directly on the stove over the gas. Take it now, we give it a stir. Beautiful, it's starting to melt down. Lovely. Just leave that. Give it a stir every couple of hours. Kidney there. This is the other method on the stove. Just have to do it very gently, so I'll see how that goes. I haven't done this one before. Okay, I think this is done. It it was said once it stops bubbling, which it's pretty much stopped bubbling. I haven't turned down the heat or anything, but it's stopped bubbling. That means the impurities or the water, everything's come out of it. So that's why it's not bubbling as much. Oh, there's a little bit of bubble still there. Maybe I'll stir it up and give it another 15 minutes. I think that's done. Let's strain it. Left with a bowl of this, which the chickens are going to love. Okay, so now I've got the oil that's left in the pot and I need to transfer it and sieve it into another pot, another big one, because there's little bits in the bottom that I can't quite get to, so I'll do that now. It's very, very hot. Just got rid of the last little bits for the chickens. Then we're left with a glorious pot of lard, and that's going to go into these jars. Got some vinegar to wipe around the rims once the jars are full. So now it's just a matter of getting it into the jars. And unfortunately I don't have a steel funnel. Paul went to try and buy one and he can't find one, so I'm going to have to order one online, but it doesn't really help me today, but I'll do my best. I think I'll just try and spoon it in as best I can. Well, that's the first lot done with the leaf fat, and so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 jars, I think they're about 500ml jars. Brilliant, I'm really excited. And the one in the crock pot is still going, and that's going to be going for a few more hours into the night, I'd say. It is 5 o'clock, probably be done by about 8 or 9 maybe. I'll see. I'll show you what it looks like. So here we go. Ooh, sheesh. It is getting hot. It's melting down nicely. You can see that that's fat on the top now. Lovely. I'm going to go take these out to the chickens. They're literally stuffed full, these dogs. They've been eating all day, all night. Last night they got all the bones, they got the whole carcass of the cow to chew on, so yeah, very, very spoiled. Same with the chickens. Everyone's very well fed today from their beautiful bull. Morning, going out to cut some rosemary for Xanthi, and I might as well pick a few of the other things that are ready to harvest out in the garden. Let's go. I'm getting Xanthi some rosemary because she's going to make herself a hair tonic or something for thinning hair. So if that works out, I think I'll be using some of that too. Here it is, lots of lovely rosemary. Cut some of that off. It's a nice amount. Now we'll go get some zucchini. First little zucchini. That'll do. I've got my harvest and I'm going to go inside because I think it's about to rain. I'll go and drop this rosemary off to Xanthi to make her hair tonic. It's melted down beautifully. So now we're just going to strain all those bits out and then strain the oil into this metal bowl. So I'm going to do all that straining now and strain it into the bowl, and we'll repeat that process a couple of times to get a really nice clear tallow for the soap. Here's the tallow, nice and hard. All I've got to do now is get it out of the bowl. That's all the water that's left from this round. We'll tip that out. And then we're basically just going to repeat that step. I'm going to chop up the tallow, put it back into the slow cooker with more salt to bring out the rest of the impurities, and then we'll go through that whole process again and it'll be ready. Now, one thing that I do have to do, scrape off any impurities that are left before cutting it up. Just going to put some more salt in to get rid of the impurities again, and some more water, and then just leave it to slowly melt. Cover that up, got the salt in there, chopped up tallow. We'll get one more purify, and then it'll be beautiful and make some beautiful soap. And what we're left with is beautiful refined beef tallow. And I'm super happy with the end product and so grateful that I took the time to actually learn and go through the steps. I don't know how often I'll do it, but at least I know how to do it, and that's the whole point. See you on the next video. Bye.